I'm Scott the Man Vasca. Big Daddy Cool will be joining us a little bit later. We have a lot to go over. We did not tape last week. The show after the live show. Great show was. It didn't even feel like a live show, but it was a good new studios.
Yep.
You know, we want to thank the callers who called in, people who helped out.
Yep. It was sweet.
I won the debate. Not to them. In my eyes, I won it.
Well, last time
you guys
it was tied 3-3.
Yeah. Well, who knows where Greg is if we'll ever show again, and he sort of scared him away or something. Who knows where he's been? I haven't heard from him.
Yeah. But, you know, we got a lot to talk about later on. Last week I did my chair. This week I have a new chair. We'll get to that like towards the end of the program.
Yeah, we have a lot of baseball, football, some basketball to go over. Coming up now to the NFL training camps. We're getting to August now.
Already.
The baseball playoff races are heating up. Well, let's start with them. First of all, as you all know, with the Yankees-Red Sox series, the rivalry continues.
Saturday's game was a big,
tremendous game.
Joke.
Well, let's start with Friday's game. I really thought Friday's game would be the games that the Red Sox had a chance to win. I thought it would be Friday because Kurt Schilling was pitching.
Right.
You know, I figured maybe they'd win that game and maybe win another one, but Schilling got rocked, and Red Sox really, it was a little bit too late. They tried to come back. Kevin Waller had 3 home runs in the game.
Let's put it this way: if you could beat Kurt Schilling, you got bragging rights.
Yeah. So I mean that first game really hurt. You know, I thought that was a game. If they wanted to gain any ground, they have to win that game. Little did I know they were going to, win the next two. That's baseball. That's how it goes, But what a game on Saturday! I mean,
joke.
Brawls, fights, hits, home runs, everything. Yeah, a little bit of everything in that game. Kind of reminds you of last year's playoff game.
Yeah.
What do you think of that brawl started by Veritek and A-Rod?
Well, let's see.
Last year trying to hit him, or they just slipped?
It slipped. Come on, for crying out loud! You do not purposely hit a bat, despite what A-Rod did the day before. When it's a big, important game like Boston, New York, you just don't hit them on purpose. And the fact that A-Rod actually looked at him with like daggers come out of his eyes, it's ridiculous. He didn't mean it, And Jason Veritek probably said something to A-Rod, like to calm down or something, and then A-Rod, if you roll his lips, go, you.
I mean, Veritek isn't a guy that's going to come after you.
No.
Years past, he's been more of a mellow guy. But I guess, hey, it fired the team up. They won.
Although he did play it smart, get into a nice fight like that. Keep your head mask on.
Boy, they did fire the Red Sox up.
Yeah.
And, the Red Sox did take the lead, and then the Yankees came back. I think it was like 9-4. And then the Red Sox won in the bottom of the ninth. 2-run home run.
2-run
Rivera, of all people.
And hey, Mariano Rivera, the pitching on both sides really stunk. Other than Aaron Mendoza and Scott Parker, other than that, forget it.
On both sides, both teams, both teams was horrible.
The 6th inning was a big joke. Over almost an hour and 10 minutes for one inning.
It just goes to show you that middle of the bullpen, finding guys that are reliable are tough to find.
Yeah.
Even the best pitchers, go through it sometimes. Rivera, he just, he's
not going to win every game. I mean, you also had David Ortiz, who somebody keep walking down the street. But anyway, you have David Ortiz, who's on the verge of a suspension whenever he decides he wants to take it. He almost came close to another one with that little swipe towards Sturz, who
Yeah.
you don't go against
No, I
the
don't-
guy that gave Camp.
No, Major League Baseball has not brought down any suspensions or fines yet.
No.
You might see a couple. I mean,
Well, I would think that A-Rod and Veritek would get fined
Probably
because,
get fined.
you know, they both basically started it.
you know, Ortiz basically he's already a 5-game suspension
Yeah.
coming towards him when he threw the bat at the umpire at the Anaheim game. Or I do think you'll see a couple games, not too severe
No.
suspensions. You'll see a couple of games here and there.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens when they face each other again towards,
Not till September. Yeah.
no, actually, in late August?
No, it's like mid-September.
Oh.
Red Sox lead the season series 8-5. I think there's 6 left, 6 in New York, and 6 in Boston.
Yeah.
Now, Sunday's game, you know, was a game that you figured, no, the Red Sox didn't have that good of a chance to win, but I mean, they had the momentum going. And Derek Lowe was pitching, you know, he hasn't been pitching that well this year.
Now, he's one that throws the knuckleballs, right?
No, it's Wakefield.
Oh, I always get those two confused.
Well, actually, after the first inning, he settled down. He pitched pretty good. One of his best outings of the year, and Contreras got.
He just has the thing with the Red Sox where he just, you were talking about it on Yes, which, you know, Jose Contreras always struggles with the Red Sox.
He's like 8-4 against the rest of the league, and like 1-6 against the Red Sox. I mean, Red Sox just know how to hit this guy, and it's a problem with the Yankees when they come to the playoffs. These two teams meet, and especially if the Yankees, you know, you've seen that Brown don't get healthy and don't get another pitcher. I mean, I think they're going to get somebody. It could be Jermaine Johnson, but from what I hear now.
Well, yeah, from what I heard, the Yankees don't have enough to get him, and they don't have the right talent to give to Arizona for him. So another trade that might be possible is Johnson going to the Angels.
Yeah, there's a possibility of Anaheim or the Yankees. Arizona wants to keep him, I think.
Yeah, I heard on like the Sports 960 that they would like to keep him, but you know it's up to Randy Johnson what he wants to do.
You know, they're going to want to get somebody in return for him, you know, and the Yankees don't have the pitching, they don't have the prospects to give him. I mean, Anaheim might have a little more to give. But the Yankees, if they're going to get Johnson, they're going to have to get rid of somebody in their team right now, besides prospects. But I don't see anyone on there who they want to give now who Arizona would want. I've heard Contreras is a possibility, but I don't know.
It's possible. Right now, you know, he's kind of, since his family's been back, you know, he's been doing a lot better.
I just think that this whole situation, Randy Johnson thing, is going to go all the way down to the deadline, which is July 31st.
Just this
Sunday. No, Saturday.
Saturday.
So, you know, Red Sox, Yankees, they may not get Johnson, but I think they're going to get somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Randy going to the Red Sox.
No.
Quite frankly, I kind of see him going to the Yankees, but not really.
There's really not too much out there right now. I think Jimmy Moyer, a couple other guys. Not too many guys that are on the trade block. I don't know. If I was to say, I just have a feeling that Johnson's going to stay with Arizona.
Yeah, that's possible. You know.
I mean, I don't want him to go to the Yankees, but hey.
If he does, you know, it's his decision. I mean, he said that he wants to play for a high-caliber team that gives him the best chance at a World Series.
I don't really think that it's a good decision bringing him to the Yankees. I mean, they only keep him for about a year or two. You know, with his salary and
yeah, plus you know,
money,
a couple of years will probably retire.
He's getting old.
Yeah.
You know, the Yankees are just gonna, you know, deplete their farm system, getting rid of prospect. It's already bad as it is. You know, once the Yankees team is gonna get really old in a couple of years. Once these guys, you know, start getting older, and
Yeah, I mean,
they're gonna have no youth to bring in.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say something I forgot.
But there's no pitching moves. I mean, the Red Sox possibly we think about shooting Derek Lowe to the Mets. I don't know who they get in return, but the Mets are looking for a pitcher. Now, whether they're still in the race, I don't know. I mean, they're.
Well, who up on the Mets is up for trading?
I don't know. When the Mets, I don't know when the Mets are going to trade in their team. I mean, They needed to decide whether they're in or out of the race. I mean,
Right.
they're under 500, about 5 games out. You know, there's 4 teams in that division that have a good chance. You know, Atlanta's on top.
Yeah, as always.
I mean, but they're not a team. They're not even a top team as they were. So either the Phillies, the Marlins, Braves, or the Mets could still win that division.
Right.
Whatever team gets hot towards the end. So I guess the Mets are lucky if they're in a division like that.
Yeah.
You know, if they were in a division like the NL Central, they'd be buried. St. Louis is running away with it. Like 10 games in first place. Yeah. And same if they're in the Yankees division. You know, the Red Sox are 11 games over 500, but they're still 7 games out because the Yankees have 61 wins.
Yeah, well, actually, Red Sox were postponed yesterday. The Yankees won, so they're
It's like 8, right?
Yeah, 8.5. I mean, I look at it this way. Right now, the Red Sox are going to make it as wild card. I just don't see them catching up. I mean, towards the end of the season, I was talking to some people. Towards the end of the season, I can see them making it for a run. Towards the end, for the most part.
If they can make up 5 games until they play in September, they have to be at least 3 back.
Yeah.
By the time they play in September, if they're within 2, 3, 4 games, maybe within striking distance, they have a chance. But they're not going to. There's just 20 games now.
And hopefully, there won't be any more fights.
When they play again, I would think so. I would count on it, really.
I mean, like I said, Schilling started it last week when he played against the Angels. He started that one. He just started the one last year, and I think A-Rod started the one Saturday.
Really, all these playoff teams, it's going to come down to whoever has the better bullpen.
Yeah.
Whatever team makes it to the World Series, whatever bullpen relief pitchers pitch well. It's what's going to do it. Look at the Central Division. Minnesota, Chicago are battling for that spot. They know how they create bullpens, but whatever team has better pitchers down the end, they're going to win.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Pitching. To me, pitching is the important thing, and then runs and hits come secondary.
Now the AL West. Now you have Texas, which is still in first, and Oakland, Anaheim. So you have a lot of teams in the wild card race. I think Oakland and Anaheim are going through the division. They can still win the division, but the wild card race, those 2 of those 3 are going to be in the race. So right now, I mean, there's a lot of teams in it. Chicago, Minnesota, Anaheim, Oakland, even Cleveland is still surprising. They're about 1 game over 500 out of the shot. It's not likely, but there's still a long way to go.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time left in the season, so a lot could happen.
Now, the National League Central Division races, Seattle's about over. I mean, I don't see St. Louis have to really collapse. But that division there I think is going to go to St. Louis. I mean, Chicago has a chance to close for the wild card. They're a tough thing to figure out. I mean, if they stay healthy, they have a good chance. They've been up and down all year.
Well, I heard Chicago they've been struggling an awful lot as of late.
Yeah, well, their pitching hasn't been that good. They're supposed to have the best staff in the league. Maddox, Pryor, Wood, all these guys, but they're not. For some reason, St. Louis has come out of nowhere and shocked everybody. Houston is one of those teams that's still in the wild card race barely. Same as Cincinnati. So you have a lot of teams in the National League still involved in the wild card race. LA is leading the West. If they make some, improvements for the trade deadline, I think they're going to win the division. Giants and Padres still have a very good chance for the wild card. I think they're tied for the wild card right now. So this year, out of most years, a lot of teams still involved.
Yeah, well, like I said before, a lot could happen.
I mean, it's tough to predict who's going to, what 4 teams are going to make it. It's only the end of July, but it's very tough. I could say right now that, Padres and Cubs and Braves are going to win it, but you just don't know. Marlins could get back in it.
Yeah.
Astros could come back and win the division.
To make a long story short, we're not going to know what happens till the postseason comes.
Yeah. I basically won't know that you won't know the team until September. And even all the way to the last game of the regular season is the you'll have a couple of the races up for grabs. So I'm not making any predictions right now.
Me neither.
That's your call. Is there any other baseball that you want to go over?
No.
What are the other moves, no? Well, minor league baseball, the Cutters are off to a bad start. They're 2-7 in the second half. They had a chance to win the first half, but they lost to New Jersey in a one-game playoff, so they better get things going in the second half, otherwise they're not going to make the playoffs. So they've been up and down all year, but 2-7 right now in the second half. Not good.
Not good for any team.
You know, they should have wrapped up the first half and they had a chance, but could not do it. And now they find themselves in a hole and they have to make up some ground. They're still early, you know, it's July, but the season won't be coming up. And right into the season, about a month from now or so, and it's going to be a struggle. You know, it's a first-year team. I think they'll be all right towards the end. Whether they make the playoffs, I don't know. A lot of home games coming up this weekend. Thank you all feel.
Sounds new.
You think that's new?
I don't know. I never heard this music before.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, everybody knows this is not my theme song. However, you know what, I'm off the screen, so I have to change it again because these cameramen are horrible. But I will actually tell you why I decided to use this theme song tonight. Today is July 28th, 2004, and we're going to air on the 29th. However, it has been announced this morning that the next big thing, Brock Lesnar, whose theme song I am playing now, has signed with the Minnesota Vikings. And my personal opinion is that they're going to put him at linebacker. Considering he's big, he's fast, he's strong, he knows how to whip ass. So yes, they agreed to terms. It was mentioned on Sportswire this morning. I think he passed up like $45 million offer from someone to play for Minnesota, but they have signed him, and he will be in uniform first game.
No, is that going to be his name?
Brock, that's his real name.
That's his real name?
That's his real name.
I didn't know Brock was his real name.
Yes, that's his real name. Not all wrestlers use fake names anymore. I mean, you know, Triple H, that's not his real name, obviously.
Eddie Guerrero.
That's his real name. Kurt Angle, I mean, he went to the Olympics. That's not his real name, but yeah, it is. But anyways, yeah, so Brock Lesnar has signed with the Minnesota Vikings. Good move for him. I just feel it's going to be great for him to see what it's like in the NFL. I mean, most guys go from the NFL to the WWE, i.e. Lawrence Taylor, Steve McMichael, Goldberg, Randy Savage, among others. But he actually went from the WWE to the NFL.
Right, you don't see that often.
No, you never see that. It's the first. But
How do you think it's going to affect wrestling now that he's leaving?
well, he left after WrestleMania. So I mean, I don't know, it's okay, but
I mean, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be different, you know, going from wrestling to football. It's a lot more.
Right.
It's a
Well,
lot of endurance and.
you would be surprised. These guys wrestle every night, you know, three nights a week.
But his side, I think he can handle it.
Oh, I know he can handle it.
But his skills, we don't know yet. We won't know until.
We don't know until open game.
Yeah.
But or you know, scrimmage games or whatever. But I don't know. I personally think it's going to bring a lot of media attention to the NFL. Just with Brock Lesnar coming over from the WWE. It may give the WWE even more recognition too. So it's a win-win situation. I don't know, but I think a lot of people are going to be looking at Brock this year, and if he is going to play linebacker, these quarterbacks better watch out.
Well, I think he played football in high school, so he does have some experience.
Yeah, he played football in high school, and he went to wrestling in college, and then WWE, we all know that. But yeah, he's going back to football, playing for the NFL. personally, I took it as a shock. I didn't, you know, you said during the debate that, matter of fact, speaking of the debate, granted, Greg and I don't see eye to eye. However, you were not here last week. That means this week you must do your karaoke song.
No, the stipulation was Greg had to be here.
I don't think that's the stipulation.
Yeah, because Greg said he had to pick the songs.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will get on the phone with Greg personally. He will be here next week.
I'm not singing a song that you picked.
Well, Greg will be here next week. I guarantee it. We'll have to go drag him by his eyebrows. Now, everybody's kind of wondering, you know, Greg and I were doing okay, you know,
Yeah, what happened?
team general manager. I'm going to tell you, for the past, how long? 3 months, maybe? I've been going off on President Bush, George W., you know, the guy that's supposed to be running our country. Well, I don't like him. I don't like him at all. And I know Scott's in agreement with me, and I don't know about you, but you gotta definitely vote for John Kerry this year. Definitely 110%. You have to vote for John Kerry. We need to get this son of a bitch Bush out of the White House. I mean, the fact of the matter is that we have people over there in Iraq dying, wasting lives for nothing. Iraq has said they don't want us there. They want to rebuild on their own or whatever. You have it. The problem is U.S. sticks their nose where in everybody's business. And we've got to stop doing that. Let countries have their own civil wars. We don't have to get involved. Because that looks like we're the enemy. When we're trying to keep a peaceful world, but let other people, you know, fight their own battles. So pretty much with George W. George W. was...
Did you see any of the convention?
I have not watched that. I know Joe Lieberman was there today.
Howard Dean was on there.
Howard Dean was on there yesterday.
Clinton.
Yep, Clinton's. Linda McMahon is there. Ivory is there. I believe even Stacy Keebler is there. A little nice Keebler elf. But you know, they're there representing the Democrats, actually representing It's Not Time Your Vote. But like I was saying, it's like George W. is saying it's okay to go over and kill innocent people or have innocent people killed, but you can't swear while doing it. You can't say anything offensive to anybody while doing it. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, Greg made a point in his online commentary saying that if we, the Sportswire, started saying F this and F that, we would get kicked off. No, you know, you can't say F this and F that on over the airwaves. However, when it comes to pay-per-view, when it comes to the Showtime, you know, HBO, the movie channels that you pay for, go right ahead, that's fine. If it's not basic cable, I can understand that. Okay, but you can't say it. When it comes to nudity, as long as you blur it out, there's nothing wrong with it, people. You're not looking at the woman's actual breasts. You're not looking at the guy's penis. You're not looking at the woman's vagina. You're looking at a blur. Who cares? Let people watch what they want to watch. Howard Stern, okay, I listen to him all the time. I personally don't think he says anything offensive, because nothing offends me. But I watch these church shows, and they offend me because they're boring.
Well, except black churches, those whoop ass.
Okay, I'll give you that. But when it comes to Roman Catholic Church, you know, you sit there for an hour, he goes on and on and on about this and about that, you know, it gets boring, I'm offended by it.
Oh yeah, you don't like
So
it.
I'm going to write to the FCC and say all church programs should be off. But that's not going to happen because people like them. Okay? Oprah, for example. You know, we all know this whole transcript about Oprah, how she's describing teenage sex acts. Okay? And because Oprah is beloved, now I don't love her, I don't like her, I don't want to promote her, and I do not want to even watch her. I don't like Oprah, I can't stand Oprah. Okay? So how is she beloved? Howard Stern is beloved by me because he's entertaining. Oprah is not. But anyways, Oprah doesn't get fined by the FCC at all. I mean, she's going into worse detail than Howard Stern. She's saying how a rainbow is the act of girls putting on different colored lipsticks and going, and I will do this in a non-offensive slash
Sexual.
well, slash layman's terms kind of way, saying it's different girls put on different colored lipsticks, and I guess you could say have oral sex with the guy, and each one of them leaves a different mark on the penis. And that's what a rainbow
Well, I
is.
never heard that before. Why?
It was on Oprah.
She said that?
It was on Oprah.
Why?
Because she was talking to a woman about teenage sex acts. And she was saying how tossing a salad is licking one's butthole.
And Howard Stern, he didn't even
Howard Stern, on the other hand, was talking about something that was a completely made-up word, said nothing offensive at all, but he gets fined by the FCC. That does not sit well with me.
That's not right.
That doesn't sit well with me, that doesn't sit well with Howard, that doesn't sit well with Viacom, the parent company of Infinity. And you know what, every Howard Stern listener out there, I guarantee you, it doesn't sit well with. I personally have written to the FCC and said, look, okay, I'm offended by Oprah's words, what are you going to do about it? They haven't gone back to me, what's new? Let's see, I know, I have to admit this show is turning into a political show. No matter how much I don't like it, it is. I mean, we're going on Bush and the presidential election, but it's news, it's stuff people have to know, it's our opinion.
Well, it's a slow time for sports.
Right, you know, we're 22, 25 years old, okay? This is a group that's the majority of people voting nowadays. 20 million strong, you know, they have that on MTV, they have that on SmackDown to vote. 20 million strong, they want to get 18 to 34-year-olds, 20 million of them to vote this year. Yeah. Which the voting process as it is now is a crock of crap. The whole electoral votes crap, okay? Al Gore, 4 years ago, won the election. He won the popular vote. But because of the electoral votes, he's not president right now. Because Jeb Bush, the other Bush brother, bought Florida and screwed up their votes and really screwed up the tallying of the votes that had to go into 3 recounts and still screwed them up, okay? That's another reason why George W. is in office. He'll never get in Bush. Because his daddy, okay, is a bigwig in Texas and can shell out so much money. Not to mention George W., I think he owns the Texas Rangers.
Yeah. Oh, no, not anymore.
Not anymore?
Not anymore.
Well, at least he did.
He used to, yeah.
You know, he bought, wow, no, sorry. So somebody running by. Yeah, she went by already, Scott, you missed it.
We're ready for the show?
But,
We're ready for the show,
no, too bad too. I feel like the man show in here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, because his daddy shelled out millions of dollars and promised this and promised that and kissed a lot of ass, that's why George W. won Texas. The fact of the matter is, George W. Bush does not deserve to be president of the United States. He doesn't. He has done absolutely nothing. He has set the record for the most vacation days while in office. He's never at the White House talking to his cabinet members. He's at his ranch in Texas, okay? And he's choking on pretzels and, you know, driving DUI and getting arrested because he's George W. And it's amazing. If our country was in a war, I would be, and I was president of the United States, which might happen, I would be in the cabinet every day talking to my higher-ups, talking to my chief of staff, talking to my generals about what we could do to fix this. Not be on my ranch in Texas. Also, I wouldn't be focused too much on Howard Stern being offensive to some nuns, which are probably the only people that are offended by Howard Stern, are the older, elderly people, okay, that don't get it anyways, that are too old to get it, and, and I'm not trying to offend anybody out there. This is my point of view. This is not the views of Vinny, Scott, Sportswire Entertainment, or Comcast Cable or CTV. These are my views alone. Okay? It's probably by the old people that want to listen to their oldies like, what's an oldie group out there? Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. They want to listen to them. They don't want to listen to Usher or Ludacris saying, come over here and I'll beat you. I mean, they don't want to hear that.
I do.
Well, we know you do because you're not old.
These are old people doing gangster rap.
Yeah, when I'm old,
Well, look at Randy Savage.
when I'm old, I'm not gonna, say it's offensive,
But that's this generation. The older generation grew up where, you know what? I feel like going to bed, I'm gonna leave my door unlocked. That's the generation they were in.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they didn't have to worry about break-ins or robberies. They knew everybody from here to 5 houses down and everywhere in between.
Yeah.
And 5 streets down. They knew everybody. Nowadays, you can't trust the next person next door to you because they may be a child molester. They may be a serial killer. They may be a rapist. Who knows? You can't trust people nowadays. But the older people, they're in that time. They grew up in a time where, oh yeah, I can go to sleep with my doors and windows unlocked, and nothing will happen. Those are the same old people that are getting offended by what's popular today. What's popular today, okay, is sex. Sex sells. If it's got a woman on there with shirts cut down to here, just barely covering the nipple, are you gonna buy it?
Yes.
Are you gonna buy it? Am I gonna buy it? Oh, hell yeah! If it's just a car on the cover of a magazine, well, no, I shouldn't use cars because a lot of guys like cars. Okay, here we go. If it's just a sewing machine on the cover of the magazine and an old lady back there sewing, are you gonna buy it?
No. Let my wife buy it.
I ain't gonna buy it. If you take that same sewing machine and put a half-naked girl behind it, are you gonna buy it?
No, I'll just take the picture and go in my room.
Okay. That was a little much. Are you gonna buy it?
Yeah.
The fact is, all right, I'll put it this way. We don't have any females here, but let's talk from the female point. If you have a sewing machine with a guy with his ding-dong hanging out, would they buy it? Would they buy it?
Well, it depends on the
Girls are
person.
different.
It depends on the person. It depends. You might get some, yeah.
Okay, but, well, we need female point of view. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. As soon as we get girls on this show,
We need a different section.
we need a female point of view. That's what we need. We need a female POV, point of view. If you want to be that female, email me at bdc2k1@yahoo.com. Because it would be great. Just some of these things that go through guys' heads.
Sportswire doesn't have a hotline number anymore? Remember we said
No, we don't have a Sportswire hotline anymore. Soon, maybe. But if you want to be out there, if you want to be the female point of view, and we want to know what goes through girls' minds compared to our minds. We want to turn this show into something that everybody can enjoy. Instead of us saying, well, yeah, that match was great because, Trish Stratus's boobs were bouncing all around, and not worrying about the actual athletic ability of Trish Stratus and Gail Kim. Okay? Or, let's say for WNBA, which is a little bit more popular, we're looking at Jen Rosati's, other bouncers besides the ball she's playing with. Okay? If you want to be the point of view from the female point of view where, if you look at the girls' basketball for their athletic ability, or you look at the NBA because Shaq is 7 foot tall, or 7 foot whatever, 7 foot tall, or a size 23 boots, so you're thinking what's the size between his legs? I mean, that's what a lot of girls think of, I'm guessing. But if you want to be that girl that comes on and either sets us straight or sets me straight or sets everybody watching straight, come on down. It's a challenge. Matter of fact, I challenge any female out there, okay? Any female that wants to come on the Sportswire, that wants to express their opinion or their point of view, okay? And I'm talking, say, age 18 or age 18 to 24, okay? Which is about the same age as the men on
Sure,
here.
at least legal, 18.
Well, 18 to 24, because, you know, the guys on our show are between the age of 18 and 24.
It's kind of 25.
Well,
I'll be 26 next time. I'm
okay,
here.
between 18 and 25. 18 and 26. Okay? Between those ages, I challenge any female out there watching. Okay? Email me at bdc2k1@yahoo.com and we'll have some sort of a debate.
Or visit our webpage at www.sportswirect.com.
That's true. You can do that too. And we're going to have some kind of a, I don't want to call it a debate because there's going to be no right or wrong answer, but there's going to be some type of game, some type of contest between myself and this female, one-on-one, okay? And not in the bedroom, Scott. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's going to be one-on-one.
We should have a debate on the next live show.
Well, the next live show is going to probably be booked up by the New England Knights. I don't know when that date is yet.
The night start in August, right? Or September.
September. Okay, like I said, it's gonna be a contest, one-on-one, where, you know what, I'm gonna hand choose the madman over here, okay? And he's gonna come up with about 6 or 7 different scenarios that male and female will think different on.
Sure you want to do that with him?
I think he's the best candidate for the job. Okay, he's gonna come up with 6 or 7 scenarios, and that the male and the female perspective differ on. And as a matter of fact, you can have Tina help you with them, our former chief of staff. And that will be on a show coming up. I'm not going to say which one it is because I don't know, number one, when the female's going to be here. Number 2, when the next live show's going to be. But pretty much, it's going to be a contest. And we're going to finally get to the bottom of the male point of view and the female point of view. Okay? And we're going to be set straight by what the females are thinking. And the females are going to be set straight by what the guys are thinking. Which I'm sure every female out there, guys think about sex 24/7.
How much time do you do?
Actually, I don't know. I don't have the remote on me.
Is it? No, that's the
That's the TV remote. I will check as soon as I leave.
I gotta leave in about a couple minutes, so. There's just one thing quickly I wanted to go over in football.
Okay. Actually, let me go get the. I'll be right back.
If it comes back, Ricky Williams, as you all know,
Is retiring.
Any thoughts on that? Retired from the NFL after 5 seasons. You know, he had over 1,000 yards rushing in almost every season. It came as a surprise to me. I really think he did this at the wrong time, especially with training camp coming up.
Yeah.
He could at least wait till after this coming season. But hey, you know, like his mind and his spirit wasn't in football.
Yeah, his,
And, you have to be 100% into the game if you're gonna, be productive. Otherwise, your heart, soul, and mind are in football, and you're not gonna do good.
And I want to say this on TV because this is what I heard. That the reason why he retired is so that he could go, do weed, which I guess one of their sports center that he admitted that he likes doing, and so they doesn't have to do like the piss test,
Yeah, it got to do with drugs and stuff and
Just gonna
marijuana.
watch that first word you said. The P word. No, you can't use that word.
Oh, okay.
P test.
Hey, it's fine for now. I think it's bad. I mean, for football. For Miami, it's going to hurt. I mean, they have a running back now.
They hurt themselves every year.
I mean, yeah. I think this year I'm not saying they were going to win the Super Bowl this year, but they're going to be a playoff team. Now, if he's not there, they're gonna be a 500 team at best.
Unless they could find somebody that has his caliber.
It's surprising that no one knew about it, not even his teammates knew about it, you know, and just all of a sudden, you know, I mean, you know, I know there's always that chance there that, you know, athletes change their minds sometimes, you know, look at all these guys that come out of retirement, you know, could he could, I mean, what do you think? He could come out of retirement.
It's
It may not be this
possible.
year, it may not be next year, but
Yeah,
there's always that
It's
chance.
hard to say, you know,
Yeah.
what he's thinking. Well, we already know what he's thinking now, but, you know.
I mean, he was healthy, I could see, you know, I could see if he was a guy that was unproductive, he was injury prone.
Right.
But this is a guy, it was one of the best running backs in the NFL right now.
He was with the Saints, and I think he was with the Colts, wasn't he?
No,
No?
New Orleans and then Miami. But, you know, he was an injury-free guy, he was pretty health-wise,
Yeah.
pretty good.
1,000 yards,
Yeah,
basically every year.
He had over 20 touchdowns. So I, you know, surprising for me.
Yeah. I was wondering, wouldn't Miami be able to, I don't know, maybe sue him or get some money
He's
from
a-
him because he just came out with it without telling anybody?
One of the first times in history that someone has retired at such a young age after, you know, when health or, you know, unproductiveness wasn't even part of the equation. He's retired at his own, you know, own expense. But he also now he owes Miami over $8 million for retirement.
Yeah, because so he's got to pay that. So I was thinking, can they go after him because he's retired without telling anybody?
I don't know, just want to end on that note. I have to leave, and Big Daddy Cool, I guess, will be coming in. I'll see you guys next week, so have a good show.
Adios.
Adios, muchachos.
Your beloved phone. All right. I'm back after my ranting and raving. We got about 20 minutes left of the show. I don't know, how do you feel about that? Do you think that women have a different point of view than us?
Yeah. We never know what they're thinking. They already know what we want and what we're thinking. It
Well,
really stinks.
That's why I put out the challenge. To any female out there, 18 to 26, that, or even 2 or 3 if you want to bring some friends with you, that's fine with me.
Or better.
And no, it's not for that reason.
Just to make it interesting.
Exactly. So, you know, it's gonna, you know,
Yeah.
we got a few guys here, you know, get a few girls as
Yeah.
their, you know, but as their point of view, their opinions, you know, and I have appointed Scott and former Chief of Staff ex-Tina to come up with 6 or 7 scenarios that men and women differ on. I actually told them 8, maybe even number.
Okay.
4 and 4.
I would say maybe 1 is sports, 2 is cars.
Well, yeah, you know, sports, cars, entertainment, sex, politics, you just
Yeah.
can't go into graphic detail.
Yeah.
Politics, you know, and different situations, like, you know, when you see Shaquille O'Neal running down a basketball court, what are you thinking? Well, me personally, I'm thinking he's probably going to miss another shot from the inside, or he's going to dunk it over someone.
I was thinking slam dunk.
Yeah, exactly. Women, we don't know what the hell they're thinking. They could be thinking the same thing, they could be thinking
Yeah.
something different. But we want to know. We want to get set straight by the female audience out there. Because I'm sure there's female audience members out there that are, you know, really mad at stuff that I'm saying, or really pissed off at me, really ticked off at me for stuff I've said, or stuff I've been saying about everything. Also, I would like to point something out. Seeing as, you know, there's like no sports to talk about, we're just railing on about nothing. John DeStefano, big old Johnny boy, Johnny D from New Haven, the mayor of New Haven, the guy I despise. He probably ranks up there with George W. Bush. John DeStefano, number 1, he's made it known he wants to run for governor.
Oh, God.
Which means that I will definitely not vote for him, and I will just campaign against him. Number 2, Walmart in New Haven just recently opened, actually last Tuesday night, the grand opening ceremony. Do you realize that not one city member, city council member, and not even the mayor himself would go there. A company like Walmart that is giving away so much money to the community, to the new police chief, to the fire chief, the police department, the fire department, to the United Way, to cancer research, and they're giving so much money to community groups, and the stinking mayor of New Haven doesn't have enough courtesy or respect to go. And it sucks. Hamden, when they had their opening 2 years ago, the Mayor Carl Mento went, we had a senator there, we had, a state senator, we had a lot of different people there from Congress that were there to speak. But this guy from New Haven, and actually the whole city, I have to say the entire city of New Haven is very unappreciative. I mean, I know people in New Haven, it's not towards them, and it's not towards, the people that are appreciative, obviously, but the majority of the New Haven people are not very appreciative of anything. Number one, that's why your city is going to hell. John Stefano comes and saying, oh yeah, the murder rate is down by 5% every year since he came in office. Well, that may be fine, but you still probably have over 200 murders a year. I don't know the specific facts, I'm just, pointing them out there. I'm just saying. Or robberies, or break-ins, or criminal activity, period. And he thinks that by putting a Long Wharf theater, a theater where the Coliseum was, is going, number one, it's not going to sit as much people as the Coliseum. Number two, it's not going to attract the New Haven people. New Haven people want sports. They want hockey. They love hockey. Okay? They want concerts. And I'm not talking about plays where you're watching an English, a guy with a very bad English accent, talking about My Fair Lady, or talking about something else. Because people aren't going to go see it. And the money that you're going to put in to the Long Wharf Theater being down in where the Coliseum was, is all going to be wasted money. And you're going to lose more money on that than you would ever lose at the Coliseum. I can understand putting Gateway where the Malleys and Macy's buildings are. I can understand that. But this whole crap about the Coliseum being torn down, the Long Wharf Theater going there, and the convention center going next door, that's crap. What I would have done if I was a mayor of New Haven would have been this. Contacted SBC, which is a big time, business in New Haven. Contacted Yale. All right. Contacted the WWE, which is in Connecticut. Contacted Pfizer, which is in Connecticut, or Bayer, or Honeywell, or one of these big corporations or companies that are in Connecticut that want to see Connecticut do good, sell them the Coliseum, have them put the money in to remodel it and make it much better. That way there, you make money on it, and it's not your problem. But the mayor's an idiot. He wants to push all of the New Haven people out of New Haven and bring in these rich, stuck-up snobs from Greenwich to go into a theater. I've ranted and raved so much about this guy, it's becoming tiring. But the fact is I'm not going to be done going against him and going off on him until he is out of office. And by that, I mean out of office, period. And I'm not talking about being governor of Connecticut. Because I'm telling you what Roland did to ruin this state, Stefano will do even worse. Now, I'm a Democrat, and I like Democrats. The only Democrat I don't like is John DeStefano. Just like the only Bush I don't like is George W. Bush. So, take that to heart. And everything I've said tonight is my own personal opinion. Not that of Scott, Vinny, Sportswire Entertainment, Comcast Cable, or Citizens Television. My own personal opinion. If you have any comments, questions, comments, praises, whatever, email me at bdc2k1@yahoo.com, or you could visit the webpage at www.sportswirect.com. You have anything to go over in entertainment?
No, just a couple of jeers.
Okay, go.
As you know, last week I ranted and raved about hitting pitchers and the Cubs and how he hit the batters and stuff. And they blah blah blah. Who cares? That was last week. Nobody cares. You know, I said this week's two jeers was going to be reality TV shows, which everybody's getting sick of those, and Michael Moore's new flick, Fahrenheit 9/11. So first off, I'll start off with that one. Now, I never seen Fahrenheit 9/11. To be truthful, I never will. But I heard them talking about it, saying that it's supposed to be document about what's been going on with us and overseas. And basically, I'm not a Bush supporter. I'm not a Kerry supporter. I don't know the difference between Republican, Democrat, this, that. I don't vote. I never will. It's my personal opinion because I don't trust any of them. But if you're going to do a documentary about a guy, I heard that basically he was just focusing on the negative aspects of Bush. And I'm sure.
But there's only negative aspects of Bush. There is no positive aspects of Bush.
Well, I know, but I'm sure Bush did some smart moves. But if you're going to do a documentary, especially people who don't have a full opinion about Bush, show the good parts, as well as the bad parts. It just showed both sides of both different points of view.
Well, I kind of agree with you there, but this is not a documentary about Bush. This is a documentary about the way he's handling 9/11. Number one, there's nothing positive about George Bush. Okay? The fact that the guy, the only smart thing is he stays out of the White House, so that if they end up bombing the White House, they get all of his aides and stuff, but he's still safe in his ranch in Texas. The fact is that he has pretty much, not been in the White House because he doesn't want to face the responsibility of being the President of the United States. Why is it that 2 days after 9/11, he had dinner with Osama bin Laden's brothers?
That I don't know. The only person who the answer is Bush.
I mean, yes, okay, the Bush family and the bin Laden family are like this, okay? And granted, the bin Laden families are, fighting a lot because, everybody is pretty much, disowned Osama bin Laden. But the fact is, number one, they're still family that can't be trusted. Why is it that they're able to board a plane and get out of the country when the entire U.S., the entire country, is under an airstrike?
That I can't answer either.
Well, that's the kind of stuff that's in this documentary that you will see. Okay, I have not seen it, but I've had people tell me these things that have seen it. And they just released a book about the 9/11.
Really?
The 9/11 conflict or whatever it's called, the actual report. Okay, and it stated how George Bush had gotten numerous warnings about 9/11, but he didn't do anything about it. He kind of just stayed at his ranch, played golf. When the first plane hit the World Trade Center, he was reading to a bunch of kindergartners. And instead of, was that 53? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Instead of saying, okay, well, kids, I have something to take care of, I can't do this right now, he kept on reading to the kids. If I was, I'd be like, excuse me, but I would love to finish this, but there's something more important that I have to do. But it's George W. Bush we're talking about. Okay, go on, your extra.
Okay, well, with the little time we have left, I'm going to get on to my last and final issue. These reality TV shows are popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
Like tonight, for instance, you have this new stupid reality series about putting Amish in Los Angeles. First off, who cares, all right? I don't watch it. Now, I'll admit I watched the first Survivor, okay? The first Survivor was good. I was happy that Richard Thatcher Hatch won, that. And then Big Brother came out. I watched a little bit of that. Then he got Big Brother 2. Now you also got Big Brother 5, Outback 5. Who wants to marry
Outback Jack.
Yeah, who wants to marry Outback Jack? Who cares about some Australian, about a bunch of gold digger hussies who just want his money, okay? Who cares about Paris and Nikki Hill about Paris and Nicole Richie. I mean, we all know that, okay, Paris Hilton has his father does the chains, and Nicole Richie is Lionel Richie's daughter, okay? We know that. We know they're blonde. We know they're out in the southern states of Alabama where it's legal to sleep with your own cousin or brother or whatever. Okay, we know that. Okay? And now you got who wants to marry, you know, Joe Schmo 2, who wants to marry my big fat
Wait a minute, whoa. Before you go on to Joe Schmo, that is not a reality show. That is a faux reality show. It's only, well, in the first Joe Schmo, there was only one person that thought it was real. And the rest of them were all actors, making him think he was on a reality show. The second one, there's 2 of them that think that it's all real, but the rest of them are all actors.
All right, well, I'll take that one off.
I watch it faithfully every week.
I mean, then you have The Bachelor. Who cares about Jason Taylor, Richard Seymour, wherever the giant NFL player was who can't get a date because he's so rich we want to timid and buy him? Who cares if they're gold diggers? We all know all of them are gold diggers. Who cares about The Bachelorette, about a bunch of 50 horny men who just can't get a date, so they try going after her? Who cares about that reality series? Who wants to marry a big, fat, obnoxious fiance? Okay, we all know that he's big, fat, and clumsy. We all know that your parents don't like him. Okay? Who cares? The point of this...
Boy, that reminds me of someone that used to be on the show.
Yeah. The point of the matter is, it all started with a little thing that MTV came up years ago called The Real World. It all started with that, which I didn't mind. I never watched The Real World. It started off good, but then it turned into who's hooking up with
Who's banging who.
Yeah. And then it went to
Road
Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, then Outback, no. Safari, whatever it was.
Survivor.
Yeah, Survivor. And then you got... There's just too many of them. That's my cheer for this week. Next week or the following we'll come up with another one. So stay tuned.
Okay. Next week you may see this show in a re-air, or you might see Sportswire Classic. I'm not sure yet. But as far as Joe Schmo, now the Joe Schmo show is a parody of a reality show. It's got 11 actors who act and make this one, in this case, 2 people think it's real. They think it's a dating show, Last Chance for Love. All the actors get eliminated one by one by script, and it's all scripted. I mean, they found out that one of the actresses on Joe Schmo 2, one of the bachelorettes, who was an actress, was in a softcore porn video called Pork and Beans, where she was lying in this tub with this guy pouring hot dogs and beans on her. I think I have it on tape. I might have to show it to you.
God.
But
Well, there was another one, like The Bachelorette. The girl was in, like, bondage.
it was a parody of that.
Yeah.
They had. Actually, we're just about out of time. Yeah. We got about a minute left. I recommend you watch the Joe Schmo show. They had a parody of, I guess it happened in Big Brother, where somebody sent an airplane sign over the thing. Well, this happened in the Joe Schmo show. It was a parody. And that's why I like watching, because it makes fun of all the different reality shows. So... I killed him, that's it. We're out of time. For Scott the Nightmare Pascal, I am presenting Cool Video episode. I can guarantee you, maybe next week or maybe in 2 weeks, I will show you the clips of Pork and Beans on the show. We'll see you guys next week on the Sportswire.